Hello everyone, Coping Skills here, back with another REN reaction. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't hit subscribe yet, please consider doing so. If not, that's alright. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has shown so much support and given me so many compliments and praise over that tribute video. I really just wanted to do something that might end up lifting REN's spirits. But as REN says, rising tide floats all boats, right? So everybody who has gotten some sort of uplift from it, that's more than enough, right? If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, I'm a licensed mental health counselor in Florida and kind of started this reaction journey by a client recommending high REN, and been enjoying it, doing it ever since. I do intend to do more and more artists, so if you have suggestions, please leave them below. Other than that, I'm also a gamer, and I haven't done it for a while. I've been really busy, but I do stream occasionally on Twitch and YouTube, and I just play games to give myself the space, availability for gamers, really, but anybody to come in and chat with me, get some perspective or free advice from a counselor, from a mental health counselor with over a decade of experience in lots of different areas. In any case, that's enough about me. Today, we're going to do Genesis. So I'm excited about this. I've been working my way down my list of REN videos, and it's a long list. So if you have any other suggestions of videos you'd like me to react to or anything like that from REN or any other artist, let me know. All right, but let's get to it, shall we?
When I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. It's not inside this dimension, it's definitely somewhere else. I wrestle with my thoughts, constant wrestle with my mental health. I'm put on life support, I've been put upon a higher shelf. My whole life I've been fighting, this cake it don't have icing.
Before we get too far into it, I mean, this is obviously fish and chips, right? What is this stuff over here? Oh, is this, at first I thought it was guacamole, but I think is it like peas? What do they call it in the UK? Mushy peas? Something like that. I don't, is that what that is? Yeah, looks good. Maybe I'm just a little hungry right now, but, I've never had mushy peas. But I heard about it once and was like, oh, that sounds interesting. I don't know if it's like sweet or just tastes like peas. So yeah, let me know. Anyway, back to the actual reaction. But he said feels like his life is put on life support and his mental health is struggling. So yeah, let's go through those lyrics again.
When I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. It's not inside this dimension, it's definitely somewhere else. I wrestle with my thoughts, constant wrestle with my mental health. I'm put on life support, I've been put upon a higher shelf.
So when he's by himself, he's really struggling in his head, basically. Yeah, interesting. So I kind of get the feel of the song now. I was a little distracted by the food. So let's go back and actually listen to this little drop here.
Mental health, I'm put on life support, I've been put upon a higher shelf. My whole life I've been fighting, this cake it don't have icing. These mantras I'm reciting, they're meant to keep me sane. I don't know if they're working, cerebral cortex hurting. Maybe it's all learning, maybe it's cause life is a lottery, what's an anomaly. Sometimes it's riches and sometimes it's poverty. Sometimes your nerves have been fried by neuropathy, begging the surgeon to have a lobotomy. Honestly, I'ma speak honestly, life is ironically fucking me chronically. I have been ill in myself and it bothers me. License for killing myself, call me Connery. I'ma be straight.
All right, so let's break down that little verse a little bit. Man, a lot packed in there. Something about the mantras he's reciting, meant to keep me sane. So a mantra, if you don't know, is like a verse or saying or a chant or something. A lot of people, it's a scripture that you kind of repeat to yourself over and over, or say out loud over and over, to remind yourself of the message of whatever that is, or if it's a chant or um, a sound or a noise, to try to center yourself and just um, let your the thing that's in the front of your brain, right, that you're concentrated on, that's distracting you, that's like eating away at you, to try to bring that down a little bit and let other things come up to lessen the burden of that pressing thought, right? Or the pressing emotion, feeling down, feeling depressed, feeling angry. Start reciting a mantra as a coping skill to kind of level yourself out a little bit. Um, yeah, interesting. I like that line. And then he said his cerebral cortex is hurting. So that's um, part of the brain that really center point processes a lot of information. And so anyway, if that's hurting, kind of your whole self is hurting, right? And then he said life is not doing them properly, right? Chronically, which means often, a lot. And then he said something about Connery. So I think that's a James Bond reference. I want to go through it again.
Mantras I'm reciting, they're meant to keep me sane. I don't know if they're working, cerebral cortex hurting. Maybe it's all learning, maybe it's cause life is a lottery, what's an anomaly. Sometimes it's riches and sometimes it's poverty.
Right there, that's good. He doesn't know if it's working because sometimes you can't tell. You do these things, these suggestions, you start, um, it's like training anything, really. Like if you go to the gym, your first week, you're just going to be sore, right? Like you don't know if it's working for anything. But if you keep up with it, then you start seeing the results. And a lot of things in life are like that. That you might not see the results right away. You don't know if it's working, but if you keep at it, if you've either been given advice or through experience or through seeing somebody else's experience, know that it can be positive, and sometimes it just takes a while, right? And then he said, life is a lottery. Sometimes it's riches and sometimes it's poverty. Yeah, that's a poignant line because the great lottery of life, what country you're born in, who your parents are, how wealthy they are, even your kind of predisposition for skills, right? And what you're good at naturally and what you're not good at naturally. All those things are way outside of our control, right? And you're just kind of you're dealt a hand, and that's the hand you've got to deal with, right? And make the best out of it, and grow and learn from wherever you're at. When I'm counseling a lot of people, they'll find some area in life where they really, really struggle. And it's even more frustrating because others around them or they know people that don't struggle with that area at all. Let's take like math, for instance. There's people that really just get math easily, it just comes to them naturally. And then there's other people that really, really, really have to struggle in order to learn math and understand the concepts. But they might have strengths in other areas. They may be like be able to see perspective in drawings and art and different things that the person maybe that's good at math really really struggles with, right? But the point is that the people that it comes to easily, they don't have to work hard in that area, but there's probably other areas that they have to work hard in order to grow, or they leave them unchecked and then they don't grow, right? uh, Math is an easy one for people to relate to because in school everybody has to go through math classes, right, up to a certain level. And we all know people that struggle with math and people that are good at math. But if you learn how to work hard and persevere and keep putting in the effort, even through the struggle, eventually you'll learn the math, even if you're not naturally good at it. And then it can really open up you can have epiphanies or kind of walls broken down where you just get it, right? Like a moment where you're like, oh my gosh, now I get it. And that's kind of what you're working towards. Anyway, long diatribe, but important to know. The point is, A, um, the whole thing about he doesn't know if it's working, and then going into life as a lottery. I think those things play into each other because we all have areas in our life where you're not going to know if it's working if you're putting forth effort into growing in that area, but keep at it. You are. Sometimes it just takes a while to see the results. All right, go back a bit and keep going.
Life is a lottery, what's an anomaly? Sometimes it's riches and sometimes it's poverty. Sometimes your nerves have been fried by neuropathy, begging the surgeon to have a lobotomy. Honestly,
Sometimes your nerves are burned in neuropathy, I think is what he said. And you're begging the surgeon to have a lobotomy. So I know he's dealt with a lot of like pain, and nerve pain is some of the worst kind of pain that you can deal with. And if it's like a pain in the brain, he's talking about having a lobotomy. Um, I explained in a different video what lobotomy really is, but really it's a procedure to either remove or kind of disconnect um, half of your frontal lobe. Um, and that has shown like a 50-50 chance to improve some mental health issues. But then the other 50-50 chance you get way, way, way worse, right? So it's like a coin flip, but we have way better procedures now. Anyway, yep, let's keep going.
sometimes your nerves have been fried by neuropathy, begging the surgeon to have a lobotomy. Honestly, I'ma speak honestly. Life is ironically fucking me chronically. I have been ill in myself and it bothers me. License for killing myself, call me Connery. I'ma be straight with you now. I'ma go straight for the heart. People dilate in the dark. People dilate in the dark. No one was late for the art. No one was late for the art. Genesis rain and it rain with a start. Genesis pain in the art. Genesis aim for the heart. Genesis.
He's going to start into the next verse. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit after the Sean Connery reference. Man, he threw down some good stuff there.
I'ma go straight for the heart. People dilate in the dark. People dilate in the dark. No.
It's a great play on words there. It reminds me of in like Seven Sins where he said a bed where I'm always depressed, a bed where I never deep rest. They sound very similar. So here he's saying um, pupils dilate in the dark, and they do. Like your pupils will open wide to receive more light so that you can see better in the dark, right? And then people dilate in the dark. And obviously, during the night is where more crime happens. So yeah, people dilate in the dark. So yeah, it's a really clever use of similar sounding words to say very related things. Very impressive. Man, those lines are so interesting. And then he said something about Genesis. And Genesis, he said Noah was late for the ark. So in the book of Genesis, it's the first book of the Bible, and one of the stories in the book of Genesis is the flood account, where most people know the story of Noah, right? But Noah was God was displeased with the earth, and he had kind of one family that was true to him, and he knew at that point that wiping the earth of the plague of um, humanity was what was needed to save humanity. Um, so then he called Noah to take two of every animal onto the ark, a boat, and flooded the earth, and then humanity kind of survived from there, right? But being late for the ark would mean that you didn't make the boat, right? So you're suffering the flood instead. So interesting. Yeah, let's hear it again.
I'ma go straight for the heart. People dilate in the dark. People dilate in the dark. No one was late for the art. No one was late for the art. Genesis rain and the rain when it start. Genesis pain in the art. Genesis aim for the heart. Genesis.
But it's interesting also because Genesis, the word itself just means beginning, right? Um, so he's saying aims for the heart and then a beginning. So it could also kind of mean like a new beginning, right? So in the reference of this song, it sounds like he's struggling. He's putting forth effort in ways that he wants to grow, but he's reached a point where he's ready to give it a 50-50 shot to get better or get worse. The whole James Bond reference was kind of a license to kill, basically. Like, so he kind of at that end, like it reached a breaking point. Then he feels like uh, he's late for he missed the boat, basically, and he's ready for a new beginning. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but there we go. That's my take. And man, the sample, whatever it is, this is cool. Did he make it, or did he get? But the use of it, man, so good. I really dig it. I just you probably saw me just bopping away at it the first time because it's catchy. I want to hear that again.
For the heart. Genesis. When I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. It's not inside this realm of thought, it's definitely somewhere else. Wage war upon my demons, I've been knocking on the gates of hell. A heretic, a heathen, I've been screaming in this padded cell. It's pain making my pain waking, it's painstakingly cold. My soul aching, my bones breaking when holding on to control. Wrap yellow tape round the body shape, put the body in the bag, zip closed. It's malignant, it's mutating, it's such a sight to behold. Let me be real for a second.
He's going into another verse. Man, I like that verse a lot too. A got a comment. He's just walking through the street here. This has got to be an interesting video to to do because there's traffic, there's people, so you're gonna get a different take, wildly different every time, right? But it is at night, so it's not as busy as it maybe is during the day. But yeah, I'm guessing these are the streets of Brighton. Let me know if that's true. That would be my guess. Yeah, I like the tracksuit. Just kind of wanted to comment on that too. But yeah, this verse was really interesting. I think it plays into kind of what I was saying. So let's listen to it again.
When I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else.
Right there, when I'm by myself, my mind starts drifting somewhere else. At the very beginning of the song, that's kind of where he started, that he struggles when he's by himself. So he kind of harkening back to that concept of when he's by himself, he really struggles. So
Find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. It's not inside this realm of thought, it's definitely somewhere else. Wage war upon my demons, I've been knocking on the gates of hell. A heretic, a heathen, I've been screaming in this padded cell.
yeah, so when he's alone, knocking on the gates of hell, you know, when you're alone in your thoughts somewhere else, that's where you struggle with your demons, right? And that's where you're kind of at your weakest as well, right? Because you don't have any support, you're by yourself, there's no distractions, there's only your thoughts. And yeah, very interesting. And then he said,
I've been screaming in this padded cell.
Screaming in this padded cell. So, and I know it might be harkening back also to him being alone, in pain, bedridden, where he saw a lot of different things and thought a lot of different things when he was in a really deep pain that made him kind of break into psychotic moments. and hallucinations and different things like that. So a padded cell, and he was making a gesture like he's in a straitjacket, right? um, so going crazy, right? So those all play into each other really well. Kind of alone with your demons, alone with your thoughts, lost in them, nothing to distract you from them, and then yeah, in a padded cell, so going crazy. Yep.
I've been screaming in this padded cell. It's pain making my pain waking, it's painstakingly cold. My soul aching, my bones breaking when holding on to control. Wrap yellow tape round the body shape, put the body in the bag, zip close. It's malignant, it's mutating, it's such a sight to behold.
Yeah, that's really good. So basically, bring out the yellow tape. It's dead. Bring out the body bag. And then he says, it's malignant, cleverly.
Yellow tape round the body shape, put the body in the bag, zip close. It's malignant, it's mutating, it's such a sight to behold.
It's malignant, it's mutating. So malignant is spreading, is basically what malignant means. Kind of consuming, right? And the mutating is it's getting all disformed, so dead and now mutating, right? Yeah, so interesting to see where he goes next.
Malignant, it's mutating, it's such a sight to behold. Let me be real for a second. Tongue is a gun, it's a weapon. Reload, blah blah, that beast mode, Armageddon. Get 'em. Let me take the wheel for a second. Hit a hoop, like Shaquille O'Neal with aggression. Regroup with a 3-point steal, succession. Switch route, but I'm making them feel the profession. Making them feel the profession. Making them feel the profession. Time is the author, the lesson. Time is a murderous weapon. Time is a curse and a blessing. Time is confined in the eye of my mind. It reminds me that life is just slipping right by. Take my piece of the pie and I'm feeding on wine. I find freedom in rhyme to defy my depression.
Wow, a lot packed in there. It kind of starts off with saying, "Let me be real for a second." And then he made a Shaquille O'Neal reference, and then kind of went into well, before that, I think he made a reference to the tongue is a murderous weapon, right? So it is. There's a Bible verse. I can't remember the reference, but the verse is something like the tongue is a or the tongue is a ruthless evil filled with deadly poison. Kind of a reference to what we say. It can really hurt. Words can hurt. What we say kind of gives it breath to live. So if we're speaking negativity, then you're giving negativity like a realm to live in. Yeah, so very interesting there. I like that bit. I'm gonna listen to it again so I can catch what I missed or what I forgot.
Bones breaking when holding on to control. Wrap yellow tape round the body shape, put the body in the bag, zip close. It's malignant, it's mutating, it's such a sight to behold. Let me be real for a second. Tongue is a gun, it's a weapon. Reload, blah blah, that beast mode, Armageddon. Get 'em. Let me take the wheel for a second. Hit a hoop like Shaquille O'Neal with aggression. Regroup with a 3-point steal, succession. Switch swoop, and I'm making them feel the profession.
Those are really good. If you really think about those lines, they make a lot of sense to. He's like, basically, listen to me. Give me a second. And he makes a reference to let me drive. And then the 3-point steal into session. So that's, like if you're playing basketball, I used to play a lot of basketball. So to get back into the game, sometimes what you need is a big three to, get the score going in the right way. And then a steal. So you're getting a turnover and you get the ball back, you can score again, and you can make a really big transition or swing. So and right now he's talking about transition to, okay, I said a piece, give me the wheel, let me drive, let me cook, basically, right? So pay attention. So let's pay attention.
Making them feel the profession, making them feel the profession, making them feel the profession. Time is the author, the lesson. Time is a murderous weapon. Time is a curse and a blessing.
So yeah, time is a murderous weapon. Obviously, we can't escape time. It's a curse and a blessing. Man, time can be great, and time can be horrible. from the smallest of like watching the clock to get out of work, it's horrible. Um, but then, um, time with friends and family is beautiful, right? Um, yeah, let's go back one
Switch
more.
swoop and I'm making them feel the profession, making them feel the profession, making them feel the profession. Time
So is the profession, is that him talking? Because he's like, hey, pay attention. And he made some kind of professional references to Shaquille O'Neal, but now it's like, I think his profession is talking, right? It's a murderous weapon. Um, they said like blah blah Armageddon, Deadum, something like that. Um, and then he's like, pay attention, and then he's like bringing it back to the focus of his profession, which is talking, right? Um, in Hunger, he says he teaches over beats. Um, so yeah, um, and then time is the ultimate lesson.
making them feel the profession. Time is the author of the lesson. Time is a murderous weapon. Time is a curse and a blessing. Time is confined in the eye of my mind. It reminds me that life is just slipping right by. Take my piece of the pie and I'm feeding on wind. I find freedom in rhyme to defy my depression.
So right there, kind of harkens back a little bit to the the first line and earlier when he is by himself, right? So he said, um, time is basically in my mind's eye, right? So it's his perspective, his kind of alone, um, and then he can use it to defy his depression. Um,
Making them feel the profession. Time is the author of the lesson. Time is a murderous weapon. Time is a curse and a blessing. Time is confined in the eye of my mind. It reminds me that life is just slipping right by. Take my piece of the pie and I'm feeding on wind. I find freedom in rhyme to defy my depression.
yeah, so it's confined to the eye of his mind. So when he's alone, if he kind of gets the sense of time and it's slipping by, he can use that as a fulcrum to get out of depression, right? To get out of that funk. So that is a coping skill for him to push those other things down, just like a mantra. He doesn't know if it's working, but his words, his profession, that's the true mantra. That's the true thing that works for him to get out of depression. And when he realizes that time's slipping by and he's wasting time and he's not being productive, he's not putting those beats on the track. I think that's what he's saying. Then he can get back to it, and that's what really removes the depression is his music, right? Teaching over beats on these streets that are bleak. But bleak is a place where rose to his feet. Yeah, go back.
And I find freedom in rhyme to defy my depression. I'ma be straight with you now. I'ma go straight for the heart. People dilate in the dark. People dilate in the dark. Never was late for the art. Never was late for the art. Genesis rain in the rain with a start. Genesis pain in the art. Genesis aim for the heart. Genesis. Genesis.
Yeah, I dug that. That was cool. Man, really interesting lyrics. But honestly, I could have just listened to that song and just enjoyed the bars for what they were, the verses for what they were, without reading too much into it because that the beat on that was just, man, I was feeling it. It's good. Yeah, and that sample brought it all together, and the switch ups, the little drops, man, really good. And then the visuals of the video, it was a one take again, right? And then just him walking through, hopping on the things at the end, walking across streets, starting in some pub. I don't know how many times they let him do that. So, um, or some like restaurant of some kind. I don't know if it's a pub or not. In any case, yeah, really interesting, really cool. And there was a lot of in the song. It was really kind of rich texture because the beat wasn't just a beat. There was a lot of like background um, uh, sounds to make it fuller, right? So you didn't feel like it was. But then they would drop out at good times, then come back in, and man, yeah, musically it was great, and yeah, it was awesome. I really liked it. Now, this is the music video. However, I did notice there was two other versions. So, without all the commentary, unless something comes to me, I want to watch those too. Let's do it.
When I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. It's not inside this dimension, it's definitely somewhere else. I wrestle with my thoughts, constant wrestle with my mental health. I'm putting life support, I've been put upon a high shelf. My whole life I've been fighting. This cake, it don't have icing. These mantras I'm reciting, they're meant to keep me sane. I don't know if they're working, cerebral cortex hurting. Maybe it's all learning. Maybe it's cause life is a lottery, what an anomaly. Sometimes it's riches and sometimes it's poverty. Sometimes your nerves have been fried by neuropathy, begging and searching to have a lobotomy. I'ma speak honestly, life is ironically fucking me chronically. I have been ill in myself and it bothers me. License for killing myself, call me Connery. I'ma be straight with you now, I'ma go straight for the heart. People start late in the dark, people die late in the dark. No one was late for the ark, no one was late for the ark. Genesis rain and it rain when it start. Genesis pain in the art, Genesis aim for the heart. Genesis.
So if he couldn't get more impressive, right? No, that was cool. And he just puts it out there. And then the thing I caught in this one that I didn't catch in the first one was the Sean Connery bar is his license for killing myself, right? So he's ready to take that license, but then goes into that Genesis. So even more poignant that kind of like a new beginning, right? Yeah, very interesting. So let's just go back a bit to catch up.
When I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. Not inside this realm of thought, it's definitely somewhere else. Wage war upon my demons, I've been knocking on the gates of hell. Heretic or heathen, I've been screaming in this padded cell. Pain making my pain, waking it's painstakingly cold. My soul aching, my bones breaking when holding on to control. Wrap yellow tape around the body shape, put the body in a bag, zip it close. It's more malignant, it's mutating, it's such a sight to behold. Let me be real for a second. Tongue is a gun, it's a weapon. Reload, beast mode, Armageddon. Let me take the wheel for a second. Hit a hoop, lash a kilo, knee with aggression. Regroup with a 3-point steal, it's a switch whoop. I'm making them feel the profession, making them feel the profession, making them feel the profession. Time is the author, the lesson. Time is a murderous weapon. Time is a curse and a blessing. Time is confined in the eye of my mind that reminds me that life is just slipping right by. Take my piece at the pie and then feed and unwind. I find freedom and rhyme to defy my depression. I'ma be straight with you now, I'ma go straight for the heart. People start late in the dark, people die late in the dark. No one was late for the ark, no one was late for the ark. Genesis rain and they rain when they start. Genesis pain in the art, Genesis aim for the heart. Genesis.
Yeah, super interesting. Kind of an acoustic take on that, which is really interesting because there's so much production in the original. So to remove all that and just having it be more a cappella beats and a guitar, it's really interesting. Did have a question. They were in the scene right here. Pretty well. So who are these two gentlemen here? The guitar player. I don't know faces very well. I think this is the bass player in Back on 74, maybe? I could be wrong. I'm not sure who this person is. Kai, maybe, is his name? Let me know. Correct me below.
Genesis rain and it rain when it start.
Yeah, I'm not sure who this is. Anyway, yeah, I really like that. I was a little bit surprised when he started. Excuse me. When he started doing that sample vocally. That was cool. And that's kind of how he ends it too. And there's one more. So let's go see that one too. All right, let's see the official drum and bass remix version. Let's do it.
When I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. It's not inside, it's don't mention it's definitely somewhere else. I wrestle with my thoughts, constant wrestle with my mental health. I'm put on life support, I've been put upon a higher shelf. My whole life I've been fighting. This cake, it don't have icing. These mantras I'm reciting, they're meant to keep me sane. I don't know if they're working, cerebral cortex hurting. Maybe it's all learning. Maybe it's cause life is a lottery, what an anomaly. Sometimes it's riches and sometimes it's poverty. Sometimes your nerves have been fried by neuropathy, begging the surgeon to have a lobotomy. Honestly, I'ma speak honestly. Honestly, life is ironically fucking me chronically. I have been ill in myself and it bothers me. Life is for killing myself, call me Connery. I'ma be straight with you now. I'ma go straight for the heart. People die late in the dark. People die late in the dark. No, I was late for the art.
Yeah, so one thing he obviously did is he really amped up the beats per minute, right? Maybe by, I don't know, 10 or 20 beats per minute, something like that. And yeah, if you know, let me know. And the drum, it's I'm pretty sure it's I don't know the name of the company that makes it, but it's like a drum machine. It looks like a big square with a bunch of tiny kind of white lighted LED squares on it, and that you can set to different sounds, and then you tap it and it makes that sound, and you play it kind of like a drum but with different sounds. It would be interesting if we could see like maybe there's a behind the scenes, I don't know, but if we could see him actually playing that drum machine to this, that would be kind of fun. But anyway, let's go.
I'ma go straight for the heart. People die late in the dark. People die late in the dark. No, I was late for the art. No, I was late for the art. Genesis rain and it rain when it start. Genesis pain in the art. Genesis aim for the heart. Genesis. When I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. It's not inside this realm of thought, it's definitely somewhere else. Wage war upon my demons, I've been knocking on the gates of hell. A heretic, a heathen, I've been screaming in this padded cell. It's pain making my pain waking, it's painstakingly cold. My soul aching, my bones breaking when holding on to control. Wrap yellow tape round the body, shake, put the body in the bag, zip closed. It's malignant, it's mutating, it's such a sight to behold. Let me be real for a second. Tongue is a gun, it's a weapon. Reload, blah, 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 beast Armageddon, get 'em. Let me take the wheel for a second. Take a hoop, lash Shaquille O'Neal with aggression. Regroup with a 3-point steal as succession. Switch swoop, and I'm making them feel the profession. Making them feel the profession. Making them feel the profession. Time is the author, the lesson. Time is a murderous weapon. Time is a curse and a blessing. Time is confined in the eye of my mind. It reminds me that life is just slipping right by. Take my piece of the pie and I'm feeding on wine. That I'm freedom in rhyme to defy my depression. I'ma be straight with you now. I'ma go straight for the heart. People die late in the dark. People die late in the dark. No, I was late for the art. No, I was late for the art. Genesis rain and it rain when it start. Genesis pain in the art. Genesis aim for the heart. Genesis.
Yeah, super, super interesting. I think that was him just having fun, right? Um, Having watched those three videos, um, my favorite's the original. I, those drops and the sample and the way it plays out, man, it was just, man, I was feeling that vibe. I really also like the acoustic version. This one would be third on the list because I think it was just having fun, right? But there were some interesting things that he did there with the samples and cranking it up, right? Yeah, super interesting. Man, I really like that. If you're still here, thank you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let me know. Until then, we'll catch you in the next one.